Thank you for people who have so far subscribed for my channel, which is give me encouragement to do more clips for you, video clips, in order to help you improve your English. Today our lesson will be past progressive, sometimes we say continuous. The past progressive or continuous used to describe a continuing action for a period of time taking place in a specific time in the past, or to describe two actions occurring parallel where one action is more important than the other. And the past progressive is used to describe the less important one. Okay, let's do how to do it. Past progressive, when we use past progressive, given a reason or repeated background events in a specific time in the past. For example, Sarah was cooking for her family every day while her mother was in the hospital. Okay, while her mother was in the hospital, she was continuing doing. The second one, being the background and the less important event compared to the main event of the sentences. For example, Sardar was walking home when he discovered that he lost his key. This is also in the past. And here also the two sentences are in the past, but one sentence is continuing. This is going to happen for a period of time, but this is only one time is happen and then finish. Same thing here. Sardar was walking home when he discovered that he lost his keys. Or could we have two action parallel with each other? For example, going together. Two parallel long past action taking place at the same time. I mean, two things doing same time. For example, Sam was writing his dissertation. I mean, this is action continue for a period of time. Could be 1 day, could be 2 days, could be for a period of time. While another person, while Sarah was reading for her final exam. In that case, the two action is continuing for a period of time. Maybe those two action is happening with the same time, with maybe Sarah and Sam are classmate, or maybe they are roommate. I mean, one person is doing writing, the other person is doing reading. It means both of them continuing. For example, the second sentences. Shan was listening to music. This one person is continuing because here we have auxiliary verb, then we have ing form. And his young brother was preparing the dinner. I mean, both action are ing form and continuing. Or maybe two actions in the past, a long action is being interrupted by a short action. For example, Azad was fixing his bike. I mean, Azad maybe started fixing his bike from 8 o'clock, maybe until 11 o'clock in the morning. When he injured, that's also happened in the past because I have ed here. Then this action is happening while this action is starting, because he was doing like fixing his car, his bike, and then he injured himself or his hand. The second one, maybe you have like this. While Azad was fixing his bike, he injured his hand. If we have a sentences like this, and then here we have two sentences, yeah? These sentences, the first one, we call them independent. then the second sentence is dependent. If I have this sentences could stand alone, there's no problem. It's complete sentence. But when I write sentences like this, because when he injured his hand, then the listener is waiting for me to give him or her more information. Then I have to add something here to continue to give him information. The other reason, when we have two sentences, when we have independent and dependent, then the first independent, then we have the second one dependent, then we don't need to add any connection. This is when it's working as a connection between the two sentences. If I have the sentences here opposite like this, if I have a sentence that started like this here, when he injured his hand, then have to put comma, Azad was fixing his bike. It's something, sometimes some sentences you cannot switch it like vice versa, because this sentences is more stronger, and then we put in the front of the sentences. If you look to this, grammatically it's correct, but logically it's not that strong. When he injured his hand, Azad was fixing his bike. We could say when Azad, it's gonna be better. When Azad injured his hand, he was fixing his bike. That's better. Let's go to the sentences. While Azad was fixing his bike, he injured his hand. This is independent. This is dependent, because this is if we look to the sentences here, it's the sentences, but we cannot have it like this. While Azad was fixing his bike, if I put it like this, then the person is waiting for me to give him or her more information about what's going on. The other reason we say here the two sentences as completing each other. Okay, let's continue. Describing an atmosphere at a specific time in the past. For example, maybe have to tell a story or something. When Sarah walked into the company, some workers were typing, some were serving customers. The manager was instructing some of the company's employees, and two ladies were waiting in the line to be served. We looked at the sentences here. When Sarah walked into the company, some workers were typing, then some were serving customer. The manager was instructing some of the company's employees, and two ladies were waiting in the line to be served. Here is a like group of actions happen is related to everything. For example, you could say when Sarah walked into the company, you could just put it until here. Some workers were typing, and then we say if we say some were serving customers, it means some workers were serving customers. That because it's the same subject, then we deleted some workers. Then same thing here, the manager was instructing some of the company's employee. Okay, let's continue to look here. Irritating or shocking repeatedly taking place in the past with always constantly. For example, Sam did not like his neighbors, Because they were always complaining. Because here we have the first sentences here until here. This is a perfect, happened in the past. If you look to the second sentences from here, this is past continue. Because they have were, they have always, they have ing form. Then we connect these sentences with the other sentences by conjecture. Then we add this because you could give the reason why Sam doesn't like his neighbors. Because Sam did not like his neighbors because they were always complaining. Okay, let's go to the second one. Our tenant was constantly paying his rent 1 week later. Here is past continue. Why? Because I have was, then I have paying ing form here, verb with ing. Then here I have adverb of frequency. Then we use this adverb of frequency after the auxiliary verb and before the verb. When we come back to this, I'm going to explain it in more detail. How to construct past continue. With the subject I, he, she, it, we use was. Then the verb with ing form. Then we have object. With they, we, you, both you, we use were. Then ing form, then the object. We use adverbs with the past continue. For example, adverbs, use it with the past progressive continue, always, constantly, forever, while, when. How to structure the past progressive or continuous? Using be verbs when we have was and were as a main verb, adding to a gerund, which we sometimes say verb with ing form, for the action taking place in a specific time in the past. For example, Sam was studying at the Hook University when I met him for the first time. If I have like this is gonna be, first I cannot have it because Sam was not a study. This is the first. The second thing, I cannot have two verbs, two main verb for one sentences. Then I have to change one of this. I could delete this, then I have to make this one in the past, or I could change this one from main verb just to gerund or ing form. That is, we say ing, studying. Now I have an action in the past continue. Then we go to the second one. My two cousins were traveling by train when they saw a UFO. Here we have past continue. Then we have here past, simple past. If we look at the sentences here, while the chef was cooking, he burned his hand. This is past continue because the cooking was start for, I don't know, for a couple minutes, couple hours. But the burning will start only once. Maybe for just happen, then it's finished. How to make the short form, short answer, short question answer, and also negative of the past continue. For example, we said it was the subject I, he, she, it. We use was, then verb with ing, then object. Then when you want to make a question, you're going to make like, for example, Azad was going home when she called him. This is the past continue. Azad is the subject. Was is the auxiliary verb. Happened in the past. Going is a verb of action. Then with ing form, it means continuing. Then the second thing here, the second action, when she called him. Then if we make a question, we take the auxiliary verb, just place it in the front of the subject. Then we say, was Azad going home when she called him? Okay, if I make it negative, because I have was, then I'm just gonna add not after the auxiliary verb. They're gonna say Azad was not going home when she called him. Okay, then if you go look here, this sentences, I was always sleeping on my bed before you come. Then I have here continue action. Then I have the adverb or frequency. Then we said we place it after the auxiliary verb. Then here we have on my bed is the second action, which also happened in the past. Then how to make a question, short answer. Then we're going to take auxiliary verb, place it in the front of the subject, then have it. For example here, was I always sleeping on my bed before you come? Yes. If we answered yes, I was, or no, I was not. If we want to make it negative, we said it's easy. We just add the auxiliary. We have auxiliary verb. Then we have added not to it. We said that there is contraction. If we have a contraction, you're going to say I wasn't. If we say here, we say was not. That's the pronunciation with the two. It's different, as we said it. If contraction, we're going to say wasn't. If no contraction, was not. I wasn't always sleeping on my bed before you come. If you look to the sentences here, Sarah was eating her dinner at this time yesterday. It means at this time, for example, maybe if now it's 10 o'clock, like in the evening time, then we say Sarah was eating her dinner at 10, maybe like say 10 p.m. or like 4 p.m. This time yesterday. It means yesterday Sarah was eating her dinner between like before 4 o'clock until 5 o'clock. The action was continuing. Then if we make a question, short answer, we say, was Sarah eating her dinner at this time yesterday? Then question mark. To make it negative, Sarah wasn't eating her dinner at this time yesterday. With where, to make contraction is easy. Then we said it with they, we, you, both you, we, and 1 + 1 or plural subject, we use where. Then we have verb with ing, then the object. For example, they were going home before you called. Sometimes we say before you called is better. Then we say they were going home before you called. Then to make a question, then we say were they going home before you called? Yes, they were, or no, they were not. They weren't going home before you called, or you called. Okay. Let's continue with how to make short answer here. For example, we were studying Kurdish this semester, or Kurdish language, just be gonna be better. Kurdish history. Language. This semester we were studying Kurdish language. This semester. Let's continue. We have where, then we have studying, ing form. Then to make a question short answer, were we studying Kurdish language this semester? Yes, we were, or no, we were not. Then see here, if we make it short and contraction, we weren't studying Kurdish language this semester. Sometimes we have expression of places, continue verb with ing. Sometimes we say, where is Sarah? Sarah is in the library studying, because here we make it in the library to expression where she is. Where is she? She is in the library studying. We can't say Sarah is studying in the library because we're talking about with the place where she is. Or sometimes we say, where was Sam? Sam was in the bed listening to the music. Okay? Let's make differences between simple present and present continuous. For example, I play football every Sunday. If I make it present continuous, I am playing football this Sunday. Sarah works in the office. Sarah is working in the office. If I want to make same thing, like same sentences, as in the past. I want to make this sentences in the past. Then I'm going to say, let's do it here. I played football every Sunday. Then it's perfectly correct because here I have ed. Then we know it's happened in the past. Or we could say, I did play football every Sunday. Okay, that's one solution. If I want to make this sentences in the past, it's gonna be past continuous. It's only one solution. I was playing football this Sunday. Here I have to say what time I was playing football this Sunday. For example, between 10 to 11, 10 to 11 a.m. in the morning. Okay, let's continue with the same. Now we know how to make from present to present continue. For example, Sardar and Sam pay their bill on time. This is, we know, this has happened in the present time. Why is happening in the present time? Because here I have subject is plural. Then I have pay. If what is in the past, then I have to have ed. Then if I make it present continuous, so Sardar and Sam are paying their bill today or on time. How to make past simple and past continuous? For example, I played football last week. Then we say, I was playing football last week at 2 p.m. It means a specific time at 2 p.m. I was continuing playing football at that time in the past. Or if you look at these sentences, Sarah worked in the office 2 days ago. Means she's no longer working in the office. She worked there 2 days ago. Sarah was working in the office on Sunday. Then only on the Sunday, maybe a specific time on Sunday, she was working there. They studied Kurdish for 1 week. That's past because I have ed. Then to make it past continue, they were studying Kurdish from 2 to 3 p.m. last week. It means specific time between this time they were studying. If we look to this, Sarah and Sam went to the party last night. Went in the past of go, and also I have last night, then I know definitely happened in the past, because last night, indication to the past, and also went in the past of go. Then if we look here, we have Sarah and Sam were going to the party. Here, I don't need to add adverb of time, but if we add, it's gonna be stronger. Sarah and Sam were going to party last night. Maybe you could say between 7 to 8 p.m. Okay, let's continue here. If we have it like this, sentences, you did your homework yesterday. Then if I make this one continue, because here I have did, then I'm gonna put here, let's say you were doing your homework yesterday between 2 3. If we look back here, let's go back here, then we're gonna have more detail about this. For example, it's saying Sarah worked in the office. If we look here, we have the same word. We delete ed because here I have was. Then I have ing form. But here I cannot put another did. Then I say you did doing your homework yesterday. Only for continuing, for present continue, past continue, only I have to have for present is or, and then for the past only was or were when I have it. If I have did, I cannot make it continue unless I have to change it. For example, like this sentence is here. You were doing your homework yesterday between 2 to 3 p.m. Here I have were. Then now it's okay to make it ing form. Same thing here. Sam had his dinner 1 minute ago. Then we know what happened in the past. Then here same thing, because this is not auxiliary verb, this is possessive. Sam was having his dinner 1 minute ago. Okay? Thank you very much for listening. Then keep subscribing for my channel in order to get more and more. Thank you very much. Thank you for subscription.